This is the health app task received from Palm Outsourcing. Actually, I have created the front end and the back end application. First of all, when you try to open the application for the first time, you will see that there is a logo and have some nice animation. And this is the main screen. There are a loader while that it is getting from the back end. Then an error message will appear if the request has been filled. The request has been filled because I'm not running the server. So if you run the application and reopen that, you will find that everything will work as expected. Actually, this is the mode section. The user can toggle between them, and this is a stepper or slider. User can choose how much hours he has slept, and he can send some notes to the server. If the user hits submit, there is a message comes from the back end that will appear to the front end user. That's it. So this is the front end application. If you want, we can go through it quickly. Also, what will you do is you will clone the repo, then cd, then you will install it using your preferred package manager. For myself, I use BNPM. I think it's the fastest and the most clearest package manager ever. So I feel comfortable working with it. Then you will run cdios and both install in iOS and npm start to run the metro, and in Android you can run npx reactive run Android, and on iOS npm run iOS. The application structure, I worked with MVVC structure in the front end, which stands for model view controller. The model section in my app is represented through API folder. It has all my requests, and I have only 2 requests with the URL for them. Actually, this part of could be just to replace the localhost with this URL, just to make sure that the localhost will work on Android. Then I used use query to handle the requests. It's actually the very basic setup of this query, and that represents the model section. Then the view is represented through components, screens, and UI. After that, the view controller is represented through the hooks folder. Actually, view controller is the layer between the model, which is the data is coming from the server, and the view, which is the data is represented on the screen. So if you want to make some modification on the data and or change some structure of the data, you can make all of that in the hooks folder. We have only 2 screens, one for Splash. We use React Native Reanimated to make most of the animations in the application. And if you realize that each screen contains it's about a collection of components, and I try to draw all the components using Tamag UI. Tamag UI, actually, it's pretty, and I feel comfortable working with them. It's my first time working with Tamag UI. I have created the configuration for Tamag in UI folder under tamag.config.ts. You will find the configuration for shorthands, tokens like size, space, color, and actually I use React Native CMS methods to handle the responsivity throughout the application. Actually, to be honest, most of the time I use Tailwind CS in web and Native Wind in mobile. I think they are very, very popular, but it has some glitches. And I think it's Tamag UI is more stable, but it's not well known like Native Wind. But after all, I have created the root native elements like button, heading, screen containers that will wrap any screen in my app, screen header that handles the header section of the application, success message, text input. All the native elements that may be used throughout the application will be created under UI folder, just to make sure that we have control over all the elements in my app, so I can add any global configuration on any element of them. Instead of going through all the texts, for example, in my app, I will just modify text here in UI folder, and this configuration or this new configuration will be reflected on all over the application. And that's it from the React Native side. From the backend side, The structure I used or architecture I used while writing the backend application called MVCS, Model View Controller Service. The model stands for or represents the database connection and the database integration. I actually tried to do that, but I thought that it was very simple. The application is very simple, and we don't need to create database connection, or also there are also no users at least. So I didn't create the model, and I didn't use any ORM like type ORM, Sequelize, Prisma, because I think it was very simple. Then you will see that that's about the MVCS. If you went through index.js, it's the first time that the user will see. You will see that I tried to use some security third-party libraries like HTTP, HTTP parameter pollution that prevent the attackers or the users to send the multiple parameters with the same name either in the body or in the link. And I used course to enable course and compression to compress the response that comes from the server to the front end side. Also rate limiter to reduce the requests that are made to the server. Actually we receive only 50 requests within 15 minutes. That's the allowed number of requests, just to save our server capabilities and resources. After that, we will begin with the routing section. Routers, or the routers in the application starts with /API. Then this main router will go through the root router. This is the index file, and we have only one router for insights. Insights folder have two URLs, one for get and one for post, for the same entity under insights. But before we go to the controller, there is a validation step. I use Zod in validation. Why Zod? Because Zod I can use it in the front end also, and gives me a lot of tools and options. I think it's better than Express Validator, and I am comfortable working with that. And also I have created the middleware to handle the validation of Zod. This is the middleware, and if the request has passed the validation step, it will go through the controller. Also we have only one controller, insights controller, and this controller has two functions. One for to get in modes that is displayed in the get modes section, and one to handle the request comes from the user or the data or the inputs of the user. Actually the controller section is responsible only for getting the data or validating it from the user and sends the response back to the user. But if we talk about the main logic of the application, or even making the queries with the database or the connection or data manipulation, all of that is done inside the service, and we have only one service, inside service. Inside service we have two functions, one to get in modes, it only returns the modes, and another one to handle insights. Actually I didn't want to return a hard-coded message, so I integrated OpenAI library. Also it's the basic integration, and also I tried to ask ChatGPT to send me a prompt that will send a user-friendly short message, and he gave me this prompt. To be honest, this is from ChatGPT, and I also tried to use chat, just to make a chat between me and the OpenAI server. All of that to guarantee that you get the best results from OpenAI, and that's all. This is the backend application. Actually I tried to create you asked in the mail, if you have more time, what will you do? Actually what will I do is to create a monorepo to handle both apps, the mobile app and the server app. I tried to do that, but I had an issue running the iOS application. I don't know why. I tried many times and it took a lot of time, and I thought that I should submit this application as it with the two repos without creating a monorepo for both apps, until I try to solve the issues that I faced during running the iOS application. And that's it. Thank you all.